Had a 69 Chevy with 396, beauty heads and her on the floor. She's waiting tonight down in the parking lot outside the 7-Eleven store. Me and my partner, Sonny, built her straight out of scratch, and he rides with me from town to town. We only run for the money, got no strings attached. We shut 'em up and then we shut 'em down. Well, tonight, the strip's just right. I wanna blow 'em off in my first heat. Well, summer's here and the time is right. We're going racing in the street. Well, now we take all the action we can meet, and we cover all the northeast state. Yeah, when the strip shuts down, we're running in the street, from the fire roads to the interstate. Well, now some guys, they just give up living, start dying little by little, piece by piece. Some guys come home from work and wash up, then go racing in the street. Well, tonight, the strip's just right. I wanna blow 'em all out of the seats. I'm calling out around the world. We're going racing in the street. Well, I met her on the strip 3 years ago in a Camaro with this Duke and Billy. But I blew that Camaro off my back, and I drove that little girl away. But now there's wrinkles around my baby's eyes, and she cries herself to sleep at night. But when I come home, the house is dark. She sighed, baby, did you make it alright? Well, she sits on the porch of her daddy's house, but all her pretty dreams are torn. She stares off alone into the night, with the eyes of one who hates for just being alone. Well, for all the shutdown strangers and hot rod angels, we're rumbling through this promised land. Tonight, my baby and me, we're gonna ride to the sea and wash these sins off our hands. Well, tonight, the highway's bright. Out of our way, mister, you best keep, 'cause summer's here and the time is right. We're going racing in the street. in a house where there wasn't a whole lot of talk about, culture, what books you read, or films you saw, or her art. Everybody was busy keeping their heads above water, I guess. But, it's funny, it's a shame in a way, because those are the things that tie you into the beauty that's in the world and the grace that's in the world. And those things are useful, But I guess the first thing I really remember was the radio being on all the time. My mother was, when I was in grammar school, she was still a young girl, and she liked that rock and roll music, And she'd have the radio on in the kitchen all the time. In the morning, when me and my sister would be down there sucking up our cornflakes and listening to all the hits, And it was... there was something I always thought I heard like a secret message, I sat there and I had my little tie on and my green jacket and I didn't want to go to school. And I heard all those records come around 7:30, and there was always a message. It said, "There's a party going on. You're missing it, little boy." And so I said, I gotta find that. Find that party, and I guess I did to some degree, but I found a lot of other things with it too. I wasn't counting on. But it was the sound of all that happiness and joy and pain, and the idea that there was a life to be lived outside of what I knew, outside of what I'd experienced. There was things to be risked, There was and it just sort of set me on my way for a long time, and I found endless inspiration in stuff that people thought was junk, all those little 49-cent records, And I was 26 years. I was 26, and a friend of mine showed me John Ford's Grapes of Wrath, and I remember sitting there at the end of the film, and I felt like I felt when I heard all those great records, they were all things that helped you reckon with the world as you were going to have to do, as everybody has to in some fashion. I remember sitting at the end of the film thinking, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want my work to be about something and to find its way into people's lives and to address the things, the world around them and their family and their friends and the people they love. And that's how I'll find my use. That's how I'll find my use. And there's some fundamental questions in that film. And in those records also. Really, in a funny way, that's what those records were asking. About the way that we live and the choices we make every day. About the idea of, is there such a thing as, is there such a thing as individual salvation, or in the end is everybody's fate connected someplace? And though the world is such that, evil men get rewarded and good men fall, but there's some place inside of you where those things get measured, and that at the end of the day that matters, I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but it was just the idea of that sort of Tom Jones speaks at the end of the film, is there such a thing as, is there individual souls, or is there sort of one big soul? And there was a scene at the end of the picture that sort of captured that so clearly. He's killed a security guard. Tom Jones killed a security guard. He's killed a friend of his. And he's going to have to leave his family and leave his mother after she's lost so much already, and they've come so far and they have nothing. And she's going to lose her son now. There's nothing that can be done about it. But before that scene, there's a dance, and it's a small scene that's shot very, very lovely. The way people are holding one another and on the dance floor and people's faces. And I always thought that was Ford holding out the possibility of beauty in a harsh world, showing the usefulness of beauty. Anyway, after that, Tom slips into his mother's cabin and wakes her gently and says, "I gotta go now." And they step out under these dark trees. And she says, "Well, I knew this day'd come, but how am I gonna know if you're well? How am I gonna know if you're alive? Am I ever gonna see you again?" And he says, "Well, I don't know." He says, "All I know is I gotta go out and see what's wrong and see if there's anything I can do about it. Make it right. And you'll know I'm there. 'Cause you'll feel me at night in the darkness that's all around you when you're sleeping. You'll see me. And you'll see me, you'll hear me in men's voices when they're yelling 'cause they're angry, or you'll hear in the way kids are laughing when they're coming in and they know there's food on the table, and that they've got a home that'll be all right. You'll see me, Mama. That's where I'll be." There was something in that film that was heroic. And that always stayed with me. Because in the end, after the world reveals itself and deals its harshest blows to you, as it does to every one of us at some point or another, people fall back on love and faith and hope, and ultimately on each other. Because that's all there is.